Stopping felt braver than pushing forward, and you didn't expect that. Welcome to The Dog Who Asked for More, the podcast for dog parents navigating the messy, complicated parts of life with a dog. Here you'll gain confidence in your decisions, deepen your connection with your dog, and finally feel seen in something you've never been able to say out loud. A dog mom, former vet tech, dog trainer, and canine nutritionist who stopped pushing my dog toward progress and watched everything change, and who works with dog parents who are ready to try a different approach. Management with Fitz started immediately. Not weeks in, not after some grace period where I tried integration and it didn't work. Immediately. Toby was not a happy camper. He had a quiet life before Fitz arrived, and a tornado puppy would not been part of his plan. He would overcorrect, snap at Fitz and correct him harder than the situation actually called for. And thankfully, Fitz never bit back. But I couldn't leave them alone together, not for a single minute at the beginning. Kennel training from day one, baby gates and doorways, crate and rotate from the very start. Not a failure, just the reality of introducing a high-energy, reactive puppy to a dog who needed peace and quiet. Muzzle training came later, not because Fitz was dangerous, but because vet visits were stressful for everyone, and a muzzle meant we could get through the appointment without it becoming a whole thing. It was never punishment. It was a tool that I used that made hard situations manageable. Management has always been part of our life, and it has always been the right call. The word management has a bad reputation in the dog training world. It sounds like settling, like admitting you can't fix the problem, so you're just containing it, like you're choosing the easier path instead of doing the real work. And we are surrounded by content that says push forward, keep training, don't let them rehearse behavior, work through it. And some of that is right in the right context. But when a nervous system is overloaded, when a dog is running on stress hormones and hasn't had enough time to regulate, training doesn't work. You can do everything right and nothing will stick because you can't pour into a cup that hasn't been emptied. So many people I work with are in the push phase, trying so hard, doing everything they've been told and not seeing the results that they expected. And when I look at the picture, the schedule, the exposures, the training sessions, the outings, the first thing I usually see is that there's no space, no room to breathe, just effort and effort and effort with no recovery time built in. Management isn't giving up. Management is creating the conditions for actual healing. It's pulling back the pressure so that the nervous system can do what it needs to do. It's giving the dog the one thing that training alone cannot give them: time. With Fitz, I had decided somewhere in my head where he should be by now. And I was pushing toward that regardless of where he actually was. And when I stopped doing that, when I let him tell me instead of telling him, the progress I had been trying to manufacture started happening on its own. Not because I stopped caring, but because I started listening. Management doesn't look like progress from the outside. If anything, it can look like regression. Shorter walks, skipping the park, saying no to things your dog used to do. And people notice, and they ask questions. And you have to explain that you're not giving up. You're giving his nervous system what it actually needs. And that's hard to explain to someone who doesn't understand threshold and stress hormones and what chronic arousal does to a dog's ability to learn. It just looks like you've lowered your expectations, but you haven't. You've changed your strategy. And sitting with that, knowing the difference when nobody around you can see it, that is its own thing. Because the progress that management creates is invisible. Nobody sees the reactive incident that didn't happen. Nobody sees the careful curation of the walk route or the decision not to take them to something you used to. Nobody sees the work of holding back. And so it can feel like you're doing nothing, like you've stalled, like everyone else is moving forward and you're standing still. You are not standing still. You're creating the conditions that make forward possible. Those are not the same thing. Choosing management, even temporarily, even as the whole plan for a while, is not failure. It's not resignation. It's saying, I understand what you need better, and I'm going to give that to you instead. Management gives the nervous system the break it needs to actually heal, and healing is what makes everything else possible. But sitting in it when you want to be making progress, that is genuinely hard because progress is visible, management is invisible. And the voice that says you should be further along by now doesn't go quiet just because you understand biology. You can know that rest is the work and still feel like you're falling behind. You can know that holding back is the right call and still feel the pull to push. Every time you see someone else's dog doing the thing that yours isn't doing, the voice gets louder. And you go back out on a shorter walk, or you skip the park again, and you make the call that nobody sees, and you do it again tomorrow. The nervous system needs time and space to regulate before it can learn. That's not a philosophy, that is biology. And working with that instead of against it isn't giving up. It's the most evidence-based thing you can do. The management tools that actually help, the things that give a dog something to do without spiking their arousal, like lick mats, snuffle mats, puzzle feeders, chews, those all live in the Fitz collection in our shop.pet store. The stuff I actually use on the days we're just trying to get through it. The link is in the episode description. Here's the question I want to leave you with. What if pulling back right now is actually the thing that gets you further than pushing through would? You're not failing your dog by managing. You're giving them what they actually need instead of what you think they're supposed to be doing by now. And sometimes those are very different things. And if you're sitting there thinking, I don't even know what my dog actually needs right now, the dog enrichment quiz will help you figure out what's missing and where to start. Sometimes the answer is less, not more. The link is in the episode description. So be kind, spread joy, and remember, the nervous system that finally gets to rest is one that can actually learn.